So it's great to see all of you here today. Welcome to the Biopolis on this Sunday morning. This is really the third Human Cell Atlas Asia meeting, and we're absolutely delighted to see so many of you here. I think in this room we have representatives from over 20 countries, over 350 registrants. And I think that this is really an opportunity for forums like these to bring together a unique brand of Asian science. As Shyam has said, this meeting is held in part supported by the Genome Institute of Singapore. We're actually reaching middle age. We have our 20th anniversary next year, and so I think that obviously single-cell genomics will be an integral part of the institute. But what it means for that in terms of the rest of the disciplines, how does that integrate with population genomics, with traditional cancer genomics? I think this will be very interesting to see. GIS itself has been doing single-cell work for many years, and I think our first paper on single-cell analysis of developmental hierarchies was actually published in 2010. But obviously, there's a huge amount to do, and because of that, again, I want to thank all of you. I'm not in the field myself, a single cell, but when I look at the number of meetings, I see a new single cell meeting every month in different countries, and I'll be frank, some places that are nicer than Singapore to visit, although we have good food here. But I think Single Cell Asia is actually a unique effort because it's not just about reporting your science, but it's actually a conveying meeting where we're trying to converge different efforts from different countries in a coordinated way to diversify a much larger global effort that you'll hear about called the Human Cell Atlas. And obviously Singapore and the GIS is very, very proud to be part of this initiative, and we believe that science and medicine will be enriched. The purposes of this meeting are going to be threefold. The first one is actually to provide a framework for new collaborations and new consortia to be developed within the framework of HCA-Asia, so that ultimately all of these efforts can create a reference map of Asian cell types and cell states. Some of you from Asian countries will probably know that while we have a great respect for basic science, our funding agencies do encourage us to push us into translation. So how this work will ultimately lead to new diagnostics, new therapies, patient impact is going to be something that I think all of you in the field working together will have a chance to address. The second aspect of this particular meeting is also to think about the new methods in terms of how to generate better, higher quality measurements of single cell state, transcriptomics, genomics, epigenomics. And also in terms of how to establish standards that one can then ultimately interoperate and exchange this sort of information. And I'm sure that the folks at HCA have thought greatly into that, so that ultimately one can then converge. You just need the statistical power of all of these single cells in order to make a real good comment on the level of heterogeneity in the human system. And finally, in terms of equity and access and bioethics, this is going to be a very, very important area. We do recognize that, unfortunately, there is actually a disparity of resources across the world, disparity of expertise. If this continues, this will result in an equity gap between the haves and the have-not in the scientific world, particularly in Asia. So I think that this is also a good time to use this forum to establish standards of collaboration, such that everybody working together, small countries, big countries, clinical institutes, research institutes, have a say and feel that they're part of a larger whole and feel that they are contributing towards a much larger vision. I do believe that there are lessons that can be learned from previous consortia in this effort, the original Human Genome Project, the HAPMap project, and so on. So we look forward to thinking about those, what worked, what perhaps could be improved to build the Human Cell Atlas. Just a few thanks to the people. This is obviously quite a challenging meeting to pull off, many, many different countries being involved. So I'd like to thank the organizing committee, Winnie Lim, Namala Ryan, Lin Lai, Lo Kawi, And obviously, our very able local chair people, Ram Dasgupta and Shayan Praharkar. They've done a tremendous job. And also the other members of the International Organizing Committee, Jay Shin from Riken and Wong Yong Park from Samsung Genome Institute. Well, we have about 22 speakers that are going to be speaking to us, sharing their experience in a variety of different aspects related to single-cell analysis. We have our keynote speaker, Christian Ardil, who has made the long trip from Boston to be with us. And hopefully she's speaking at a time when her jet lag memory will not be so bad. But we have delegates also from Thailand, Vietnam, that's closer to home, but also from Argentina and the USA. And we welcome you to come to Singapore here. And also the members of the HCA Data Coordination Platform who support, and not just the support, but also guidance in how this can ultimately align with the vision of HCA will be very, very essential. We have many sponsors to thank. These include the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, and through their efforts, we are able to record this event and to share this on the website. And this will allow other people to view the proceedings more widely. We also have certain commercial sponsors, our gold sponsor, Illumina, silver sponsors, 10x Genomics, MGI, NanoString, and Biomedia, all of which have contributed towards supporting this event. So that's all I have to say. And again, congratulations to the organizers. I feel that this is really the start of a fantastic initiative that will ultimately throw up more questions about the human condition, I think, that it answers. But I think that's the nature of science. And we look forward to 2 exciting, productive days of science discussions and, again, a formation of consortia. I think you'll hear about one in this first session today. So again, I hope that all of you will take up the challenge of working collaboratively across national boundaries, and the Genome Institute and A-Star will be very, very proud supporters of this effort. Thank you very much, and pass it over to Shai.